welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be a reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the September 27 to October 3rd period. Okay, let's jump in and see what is the guiding theme moving forward this week for Sagittarius. What is the guiding theme for Sagittarius this week? Thank you. Ooh, Gateway. Interesting. Okay, you've got the Gateway card here. Beautiful unicorn realm. There is some sort of magic is afoot here for you. Things are unfolding. There are profound revelations and inner illuminations close at hand. It's going to be much easier for you to manifest your dreams this week, my dear Sagittarius. When you see this Gateway card, it's really a time where the veil between the physical and the mystical are going to be thin this week. And that is going to allow you to have illuminations. Very exciting, Sagittarius. My goodness, I love seeing that unicorn energy in Gateway. Let's see what Archangel energy is going to support Sagittarius through this week of passing through gateways and the thinning of the veil. The thinning of the veil. Okay, two cards. One flipped, one fell. We're going to take both. We've got compassion and patience. Archangel Michael and Archangel Zadkiel. So very interesting messages here of compassion and patience. So, you know, as you are understanding how this veil is getting thinner and thinner and you're being able to see through to the other side. So again, physical and mystical is becoming, the lines are becoming blurry. You could be starting to feel like you're getting some sort of psychic downloads, psychic hits. There are things that are starting to occur to you, and through this process, you're being guided to be compassionate and patient. So this could really be a time where you need to be compassionate to yourself as you're entering this sort of phase where you're beginning to see a blurry line between the physical and the mystical, the material and the spiritual. You know, you may need to extend this compassion to others as well as to yourself. And let's jump into the tarot here to clarify some of these messages for Sagittarius, to see what is at the root of this. What is at the root of this for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Let's dive in here. Wow. Okay, so prosperity, right away we see the Sun card crossed by the Knight of Swords. So this is going to be an interesting time where Sagittarius is really seeking self-sufficiency and pleasure and satisfaction and feeling fulfilled on an inner level and being prosperous. It's time, Sagittarius, you feel this need to really have some inner self-enrichment. You need some joy, you need some pleasure, you need to feel like you're connecting your vision to the external world. And as I say that, there's the King of Rods on the bottom of the deck. Very interesting here, Sagittarius. Now, it's very interesting to look at what you've received here, because I can see now why compassion and patience have appeared here from the archangels, because your prosperity is being blocked or challenged by a lack of patience and a lack of compassion. It's very clear now to see that your ultimate path to where you desire to be, to this enriched, sort of nourished, self-fulfilled aspect of yourself that you want to, you really want to tap into, that's being blocked by a lack of compassion and a lack of patience. And that lack may be expressed outwardly. You may be expressing a lack of compassion and a lack of patience outwardly. And when we do that, it sort of mirrors back to us in our own life. And so then you find yourself in a place where you're not seeing the results that you anticipate. You're working really hard on some stuff, but because there is a lack of patience and a lack of compassion, there's also sort of this undervalue of your efforts. Like you're diminishing your efforts and potentially the efforts of others around you, because this sort of energy spreads, right? This sort of energy tends to carry itself internal and external as it expresses itself. So it's sort of like the foundation of your efforts. You're not seeing the outcome. Seems to be, something is undermining your ability to see the outcomes you desire. And that thing is this lack of compassion, or limited ability to be compassionate and patient right now. And I say limited ability because I feel like you came into this timeline from a situation where everything was pretty stably happy. Like you were pretty content emotionally, Sagittarius. You came in the recent past from a situation that was pretty satisfying, pretty emotionally content. Like you came into this current timeline from a situation that was emotionally satisfying, content. You felt a realm of emotional contentment. And then suddenly you've been thrust into a situation where you're starting to, let's not forget about that gateway card. You're starting to see things and appreciate things from a different perspective. Your inner dialogue is not harmonious right now, because you're between two worlds. Don't forget that gateway card suggests you're between two worlds, but that the veil is thinning. So it's almost like you came from a timeline where things were really emotionally content. And now you're finding that something has come in here to undermine your efforts. Something has disturbed the balance between the energies in your life. Things have become unharmonious, and there is sort of a diminishing aspect to your efforts. So the more you put into something, if it's just effort, it's not going to get you very far. And you've been noticing that. You're noticing that. And it's because what is necessary more than effort is compassion and patience to yourself and to others, Sagittarius. It's sort of like you're not evolving. You're just spinning your wheels. You're not moving anywhere. You're just spinning your wheels. And it's because the inner dialogue is really unharmonious right now. And it's almost like there's a choice that you need to make. There's a choice that is looming. And it has to do, for sure, with having some sort of balance internally so that you don't feel like you're headed towards setbacks all the time. I feel like in the upcoming energy, we can see here that things are going to turn around for you. And I think it's because that gateway card, I can't stop looking at it, really makes me feel like you're going to get an understanding of how to create this balance in your life. Yeah, it has to do with tapping into your intuition and your imagination. You're getting a green light to go for it, and you're not. You're at a standstill here. And I think it's because you're trying to do things in the old way, when you're entering into a new paradigm. You are shifting, and you need to be patient and compassionate with yourself. And that will help you be compassionate and patient externally as well to others. But for now, we really need to apply that to the self. You can really only treat others to the degree that you can treat yourself. So if you're not being compassionate or patient with yourself, Sagittarius, you won't be able to elevate your compassion and patience to others. You'll be able to meet them where you meet yourself. Does that make sense? And things are not lining up. Energetically speaking, things are not lining up because it's interesting. I really feel like it's because there's this idea that you're not sure where to direct your energy right now, because you are between two worlds and things are so imbalanced within the body. Even like the physical body is imbalanced, and I'm seeing that here. And this idea that because there's so much imbalance, it's kind of like you just don't know. You feel almost reckless, right? You feel almost reckless, and like your energy is getting wasted. It's not being used effectively and efficiently because you're not going where you need to go. And this sort of imbalance that exists within you is blocking your prosperity. It's blocking that Sun card from really being able to shine through for you right now. It's because you're between two worlds, right? You're hovering in this gateway where you haven't quite crossed into this new world. The veil isn't completely translucent. There's still things that you're not sure of. And it's almost like you're doubting yourself here. You're doubting yourself because things have changed rather dramatically. Like you went from being really content and having sort of all your ducks in a row and feeling really stable. And now you're spinning your wheels. You're spinning your wheels and all you can think about is why aren't I happy? I just want to be happy and fulfilled and feel like I'm self-sufficient and that I can enrich my life. And you're finding that is a big struggle this week. But it's almost because of the nature of what's happening right now in your life. You know, the shift that you're going through, the transition that you're experiencing right now is sort of responsible for this. And it's coming from a place of not really knowing how to rebalance yourself. And yeah, there's some disunity here. Could be because of a breakup. It could be because of some kind of turmoil on a personal level, you know, like something that suddenly changed in your life with respect to something, you know, that you were putting a lot of energy into, and now suddenly it's shifted and it's not as it used to be. Yeah. And there seems to be this idea, by being patient, how can that impact this? By being patient, you will be more mindful in the day. If you're more patient, you will find more reasons to sort of stop to smell the roses. You know, you won't feel like you have to keep spinning your wheels. You'll realize that isn't actually getting you anywhere. That what you need really right now is, I would think, a little bit of a break, because you're sort of redefining yourself. You're redefining yourself. And as you do that, you sort of need to take it easy on yourself. This isn't really the time to be too hard on yourself. You know, like top of mind for you right now is your inner environment. And I say that because of the Queen of Pentacles. This represents Capricorn energy as well. It's sort of this idea that you just want to feel secure in everything, and you want your physical environment with respect to resources and your home life and everything to be prosperous and secure. You know, you don't want to count on others. If anything, you want others to count on you. You want to be able to be very generous and supportive to others. It's interesting. You really want to be solid. When you think about what would make you feel that inner peace, it's this idea of sort of this down-to-earth common sense where you're naturally expressing a level of prosperity that you provide for yourself. Okay? Now it's interesting to see the Queen of Pentacles, and then at the end of the reading to see the Emperor. And then all the while, we have the Lovers in reverse as the inner dialogue. So to me, that says that the feminine and masculine are out of balance. This is your out of balance here. The Emperor is the card of your final outcome, and the Queen of Pentacles here represents what's on your mind, on your conscious mind. So as your conscious mind is thinking about the feminine, the outcome is that you're going to need to be more decisive in terms of masculine energy. You're redefining how you treat others when you're the leader. When you're the one in charge, are you compassionate and patient? Perhaps you're being pointed to that because that is an aspect of you that needs developing, Sagittarius. You may need to add more compassion and patience when dealing with others. If I give you compassion, that just means I can appreciate that we are one. And so if you're enduring something that is difficult, I can be compassionate for you and give you compassion because I've endured things that are difficult as well. And so we can be compassionate towards each other without feeling sorry. The second I feel like we feel sorry for someone or give them pity and I feel so bad for them, that is a response that creates a better and less than vibe to me. That creates a situation where, you don't empower the other person by feeling bad for them. You if anything, I feel energetically you're robbing them of their power when you say you feel bad for them. That it's pity, it goes past empathy and sympathy right into pity, and it's the furthest thing from compassion. And so the idea of sort of seeing yourself in the emperor would suggest that you're looking at how you treat others when you're the person in charge, or when you're the person that's been put in the responsible leader position, the person who has to make all the decisions, the person who has to sort of make the calls, right? Like decide things, the person who's in control, the boss, the leader, the father, that when you're in that position, who are you? What kind of leader are you? Not to say that right now you're a poor leader or a good leader, but just the idea of reflecting on what kind of leader we are. And that, it's an opportunity to sort of review this with a non-judgmental view of the self, so that you can actually see where things might need to be, reflected on more. The other thing to take note of here is that it's okay if you're having a hard time making the decisions as the person in charge. I feel like you are being a little hard on yourself, Sagittarius, that you're kind of expecting yourself to be an expert here when really you're far from an expert. None of us are. So I'm not sure how much you can expect from yourself. I think you're expecting too much. And I feel like you need to almost just give yourself a break here, Sagittarius, because you will connect your vision to the external world. Remember, we have the King of Rods on the bottom of the deck. I really think that you're going to be able to do it. It's just a matter of seeing that and understanding that it takes time to develop, right? Like the King of Rods understands that it takes time to develop something, implement it, and then evolve again. So all of these things take time. And I feel like you're needing to give yourself some compassion and patience this week, Sagittarius, as you sort of go through this and discover how to balance out these energies of wanting to create and then needing to be decisive, wanting to enrich and feel that physical security and prosperity, and balancing that with some decision making and leading in a situation right now where you're the leader and you weren't before. Before I feel like in the recent past it wasn't. You weren't the leader. You were just doing your own thing. And now you're sort of in this situation where it matters. It matters. It matters to more than just you. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see what the message is here for Sagittarius for their final guidance as they go through their week. What is the final guidance here for Sagittarius as they move through their week? Ooh, thank you. Oh, wow, look at that. Eternal love. This is such a beautiful, beautiful image. In this card, we see the representation of a union. We see the representation of two souls, two spirits, opposite in polarity, sort of harmonizing, which is where your inner dialogue seemed to have some lack. Like when you look at these two cards next to each other, this is the inner dialogue here in Lovers reversed, and then this eternal love card is your guidance. So you're being guided to bring harmony in where there is not. You're being guided to bring in union where there is not. So it doesn't surprise me in the least to see compassion and patience and gateway. I feel, Sagittarius, that you're being guided towards unity this week. You're being guided to understand that we are all one. There is something about the gateway and this card. These two cards together really make me think that this is going to be a week for you to, I feel like you're going to, connect with some part of you that's been estranged, some part of you that is not integrated. That lack of balance that we see in the Lover's card, I feel like you're going to cross into balance, and that your sort of focus, if it's on compassion and being patient and unity, that's where your focus needs to be, because I feel like two worlds are coming together for you this week, and it could sort of divide you until it unites you. But you will be free from setbacks, but there's a part of you that sort of needs to be gentle with yourself and get in touch with your intuition on a level that will unite the fragmented parts of yourself. I feel like that's what's going to be coming up for Sagittarius this week. If this has resonated and you would like a personal reading, you can find my email in the description below. And thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and watching. And we'll see you again very soon for another reading. Sending you lots of love and light, my friends. Have a great week.